Welcome back, MTG Joe here, and today we're going to be playing a list I found off MTG Arena Zone. This is a list from Disc 3001. It is a Auras kind of deck in Standard. It's a Runeforge Champion Runes kind of enchantment style deck. So we played a green-white enchantment deck that was more enchantment creatures. This one's more aura focused, so I want to see how this one plays out comparatively. So Runeforge Champion, when it enters the battlefield, you get to search your library for a card. For a rune card, put in your hand, and then you could pay one colorless in lieu of paying the mana cost of a rune. And then what we have is Light Pause, so kind of a core Spirit Dancer style effect that can also search up for auras. Basically, when you cast an aura, you get to look for an aura. And what we have in terms of auras are the runes. So you have the life gain one, you have the haste one, and then you have the trample one. So kind of using that, they all cycle to draw cards as well. No red mana to cast this, so you're really just trying to cast it off that or light pause. And then the rest of the deck, you have Generous Visitor, which lets you put counters on creatures whenever you cast an enchantment. Michiko, which gives you buffs for enchantments, and artifacts, Spirited Companion, which cycles, Ranger's Class, which kind of pumps mana into it, Jukai Naturalist, which reduces the cost. We have some Touch the Spirit Realms as removal, or in a pinch, just exile your own creature, bring it back to the battlefield for protection, and then Catilda as kind of the top end flyer. Some utility lands and creature lands mixed in. And that's pretty much the deck. So we're going to try it out in best of one, see how these games go out, and just kind of see what works, what doesn't. And really what we want to do with this is just compare to see a couple things. So as we fire this up, how this plays against just the dedicated enchantment creature shells, or like the haunting decks where you get spirit tokens, stuff like that, how this fares against the other aggro decks, and how this plays into the various meat hook decks. So just kind of playing with that. I did hit Mythic with the mono white deck that we played the other day. No, we need colored mana. This sounds good. I think we are going to put back the Rune of Speed just because it doesn't do anything with our hand. So we'll lead on just that. Give me 1 second. I'm going to let my dog in the room. Come on, inside. So they could have Cinderclasm. I think we focus on getting Michiko going first. So this can be likely either a counterspell or draw. Crush here. I guess we didn't crush the weak over that. So we do need to sequence like this to get the counter, but normally I would like to put it on something other than the Spirited Companion. Just chill out, dog. My dog like sits right behind my chair. And then any minor movement. So with Opus, this could be the Hinata deck. See Goldspan come down here, so we're racing now. Probably gonna want to remove that. So we have to decide here. We can try to buff. I think we need to try to get rid of Goldspan here. It's an interesting decision because I can get these out of the way, but another Goldspan attack is gonna be, because that would give them 8 mana so they can Opus me. think we're gonna do this. Stop. Stop. Sorry about that. My dog's battering the dog outside. Here. I think we just need to continue to try to get things out of sweeper range. While we could push through a bit more damage, it doesn't really do much. I don't think this turn, just doing Touch the Spirit Realm on this, we ramp them anyways. Could see Opus. This draws us a card. I'm going to keep this open from the channel ability. So they technically need to block. Exile target creature. Okay, so let's let them exile. So they could technically block, they take 6. I think we let that happen. And then just exile. I could have done that pre-combat, but they had all their mana up. At least like that, it kind of forces them in a way. Makes it a little bit difficult for them to be able to hit me. With Hinata, they don't have enough targets. They would need one more. They could target the Hinata. They were kind of digging there, which is interesting. Actually, don't mind Elijah here. So they can't Opus me this turn. None of these are legendary. I think we're still doing this. It's bad if they have like Vanishing Verse. But even then, I just get to post-combat play Portrait. They need like multiple Vanishing Verse here. Okay, so we hit Catilda. That's 8 trample. They could trade. Could have forced it, but I'd rather next turn have Elijah open because it can make their blocks a little awkward. I don't think they have a way to bounce Touch of the Spirit Realm. They could have Valorous Stance. So we're gonna attack here. Deal 4 trample damage over, kill him. Booyah! So it wasn't too bad. The Mashago, whatever the Enchantress Presence style effect, we were able to get pretty big. The opponent did interact with us a couple times, but the only thing I'm not really sold in these types of decks are Rangers class. I think it's a little too slow for the format. Alright, we go first. The one thing is with these runes, we end up cycling through our deck pretty well. So I'm leading on that land so I can go and tap here. This lets us play multiple spells next turn. It's fine. Trying to hit a land here ideally. Ah, that's rough. I mean, if they're going to Fateful Absence these, it bodes pretty well for us. We do need to draw a land eventually. Okay, so it's going to be one of those games. 24 land, never see a land. Okay, so we've drawn more Spirited Companions than lands. We're never getting to Rangers class. Book of Exalted Deeds. Okay, so they're angels. So this gets +2/2. I can start getting Mashago going, but I think I like playing out this turn. It's a 3/3. I'm hoping they run out of removal, which they don't. So that was kind of our way to try to race here. So, target creature. Gonna get Ruinous Substance. We do need to do this turn. I'm dead in the air. I'm still dead in the air. That's just frustrating. We missed lands way too many turns. If we were able to curve out, but opponent just having removal, removal, removal. If we are able to stick one turn with the lifelink, it could have been relevant, but sometimes just line up that way. If they actually put the Exalted Deeds on, we have very little removal. Hand's a little awkward, but we'll give it a go. I could go Generous Visitor. Can also do this and then set up for next turn, which isn't too bad. Could Rangers class. I think I like that for next turn. I forgot that's free. Got Catilda going next turn. So next turn I can go this Catilda, so they could go Confinement. So there was a case to differentiate our threats there, but I could have another Confinement here, which is a little awkward. Kind of like... So following turn I could Rangers class. I think we just take this as a setup turn. Just kind of put the pieces together, and then next turn we'll drop some Rangers classes. I also have Elijah, with this being legendary. Sparring Regiment's actually interesting. So they get reduced to memory here. And the fact it lets you go offense defense is really good. So I think this turn we do this. So I'm going to do it this turn, the Elijah. Actually, we don't have a legendary after they would kill my Catilda. So maybe not. Because the problem is, like, they could decide to do this pre-combat and then that turns off my Elijah. Technically they have to attack here before the counter goes on the stack, so we might be able to interact with it there. We can also just set up blocks in a way. Well, now we can't. I think we're just taking this damage. I mean, they have to reduce to memory here, and then we can just go wide on them. Got it. Yeah, because what they do here is they can go wide. Like, we just went wider. Sorry. They can go tall, but we just go wide. So the Elijah could have been something we played there, but it wouldn't have been of use because they would have just played around it by giving the buff. I like the Sparring Regiment though. Maybe instead of a Rangers class. Also gives you access to a learn board. A little bit slower of a hand, but we draw anything on 2, we're good. Okay, mono white aggro. See how this plays out. So I can go rune here, get the lifelink rune. Okay, so they go intrepid here. Kind of annoying thing is hopeful initiate. Probably want to go lifelink first. This is an interesting. We're hoping that they don't have, like, our hand was just not really well suited. So they can attack with both. Oh, they just have all the removal? Okay, so you're not going to do much when they have all the removal there. We need to decide here what we want to do. Because they can get the hopeful up. So I think we do this. Can't really afford to play. You know what? I should have played Rune of Might. It would have made me a 3/4. Oh, they literally have all the removal. That hand just played into ours like very poorly. So that's an important thing. So like a mono white, because we're kind of a synergy deck, mono white's just able to kind of play more linear. And we're not really playing interaction or removals at 3 mana. I don't think I like these Touch the Spirit Realms over just the... So, yes and no. We were able to exile Goldspan Dragon. We weren't able to hit, like, on curve something smaller. Opponent goes first. We don't have plays till 3. Let's try. Okay, we have Mishago. That's annoying. So we probably want to lead on Runeforge here. Depending what they play out, we might go touch the Spirit Realm. Yeah, I'm gonna hope they don't have something and just play out Catilda here. Okay, so they're on the runes plan as well. Second Weaver. No blocks for us here. They are going to be able to go pretty wide on us. So we still have Touch the Spirit Realm available. I have this Rangers class. I think what we want to do is... So the tricky thing is here, they can exile 2 of my things. So we might want to keep Channel open. If so, Rangers class is probably the play. Yeah, I think we do this. Because now we have a couple options. If they play like an exile effect, I can blink my own creature. And now I can just Elijah instead. So they do get the Anthem effect now, but at least I get that going. So I could Runeforge, I can Spirit Realm. So I think we touch the Spirit Realm here. I probably should put the trample on Catilda, but I want to set it up that they have to kill both. Next turn I can play this, and then get a rune as well. Okay, opponent's on like mono wedding announcements. They might want to draw another card here. Okay, so Rune Forge. We already have lifelink, so I don't think it matters. Let's get Rune of Might. We kind of gotta just play like they don't have the removal. It's really our only way. If they have the removal, they have the removal. But with their board, like them drawing triple announcements, it's kind of rough. That should be game. Blocks. Yeah. Opponent's seen enough. We'll take the W here. So overall, not too bad. We saw like the good and the bad. Drawing a lot of cards with the deck's been nice. I almost think you do want Kami or something like that as well in the pile, but gives you some options. Let me know what you think of this build if you have slightly different, and kind of take it from there. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great one, and stay safe out there.